Not in my book. Now, look, I understand McDaniel going to the Chargers. You got a more talented quarterback as far as throwing the football than Jalen Hurts and Herbert. Mm-hmm. You got a coach who's, I'd say, as good as Sirianni has been as far as his record. I mean, Harbaugh, I think, is a better coach. But, but even if you want to say, oh, Sirianni's won this and that, well, Harbaugh has, I think, more security. Than Sirianni, more job security. So I think that's a job I can see, and it's just less pressure. You're not going to have the media, the fans all over you in L.A. for the Chargers like you do in Philly. So I understand that. Dable, I don't really get that one. I guess he loves Cam Ward, and you can mold him and, all that. But Philly, I think it's a good job, Nick. I get the media, how they're on you, the fans. You've got a Super Bowl winning quarterback who needs to improve on some things, intermediate passing and things like that. But a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a great running back that I think is going to have a bounce back year. Lane Johnson has said he's not retiring. So you still have Jordan Mailata, Cam Jurgens. You should have a good offensive line. If they're healthy, I expect a bounce back year from the O-line. Obviously, two very good receivers. Even if you get rid of AJ, which I don't know if they're going to do that because of the cap situation, but even if you do, you still got Devontae Smith.
Very talented roster and a great organization.
Right. Not only the talent, but two offensive coordinators in the last 3 years have gotten head coaching jobs from being with the Eagles. As the OC, if you're a name or kind of established like McDaniel was, you got full autonomy on the offensive side of the ball. Like they've said, Sirianni's not going to be able to meddle with. You're going to have your way. It's going to be your way or the highway for the offense. So I think it's a very good job. I see some of the drawbacks, but I think it's a good job.
So here's why I don't think you'll have full autonomy on the offense.
That's what they're saying. I mean, unless it's a new guy.
No. I believe that no other coach or management is going to meddle with the offense. But I do not think the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles has access to the full playbook.
I told you.
And I think that
told you.
And we saw it with Kellen Moore and where Kellen Moore quarterbacks throw every year he's been the play caller, and how much of it is that intermediate middle part of the field that a lot of these teams really have the meat and potatoes of their passing game being in that area. That is not where Jalen likes to throw the ball. I don't know that it's fair to say, I don't know what is fairer to Jalen. To say he can do it and doesn't like to do it, that would be weird. Or to say he'd like to do it, but he can't do it. That seems cutting, but it's got to be one of the two because he just doesn't throw the ball there, and we've seen that repeatedly. I think that if he's your quarterback and you don't have either dynamic running game, which they might have again next year, but they might not, and Jalen is not as much of a running threat at this point in his career as he was when they went to the first Super Bowl, which, again, we'll see if last year was a blip or a trend, then the offense is going to be limited.
Okay. Well, they did not have a dynamic run game this year. They had a bad O-line. They had a bad offensive coordinator. And yet, Jalen Hurts put up top 10 quarterback numbers. And Jalen Hurts was not using his legs. And he did throw the ball and get two different receivers with 1,000+ yards. He did. He did partake in that. I know, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. He just somehow did the thing that Nick literally just said that he can't do. And if you want to say, yeah, but the offense sputtered at times. Yeah. And in other times it was great and it was inconsistent because is it coaching? Does coaching have an impact on that? Throughout the course of these playoffs, have we not been talking so much about Ben Johnson, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay? Have we not been hyper-focused on the play calling, the decision-making? But no, when it comes to the Eagles, it's just they don't have the full playbook. Really? Is that why Tom Brady himself, literally, Brady, disputed that in real time during the Buffalo Bills game where he said, I think that's nonsense that people say that's not true. Yeah, I trust his opinion in real time more than anything else. I'll be honest with you. And again, the reason why I actually really like to go to the Tom Brady, well, because there's some broadcasters and there's some people on TV that really just kind of talk just for the sake of talking. Or they try to be really neutral. They don't want to step on anyone's toes. That is not Tom Brady. And I respect that a ton. I respect that a ton. And you know what's so funny? I just saved this clip. It's a great Coel clip. And I was just like, oh, this is awesome. I was like, I wonder when I'll get a chance to use this and in what context. Little did I know it was going to be a few minutes later. Listen to what Greg Cole has to say about coaching and quarterback play. I've talked to a lot of coaches over the years. I'm sure you have as well. And most coaches will tell you that it takes 2 to 3 years for a quarterback to really get a sense of mastery within a specific offensive system. Jalen Hurts has never been given that opportunity in the NFL, or actually throughout his entire career. I mean, we mean to say the guy that had success at one college through the roof, success transferred to another college with another coach, Heisman potential right up there, then goes to the NFL, has his team get in the playoffs every single year, has had a new coordinator every single year, got to the Super Bowl twice, won the Super Bowl, became the Super Bowl MVP, has set multiple records, and you want to say that he's limited, he can't do things, and the playbook isn't fully open. Do you know how dumb that sounds? Do you know how dumb that sounds? Do you know how easily defensive coaches over the years would be able to stop Jalen Hurts and this offense if that was the case? Do you understand that? Do you understand that that's like essentially not possible to be true? They wouldn't. No matter how amazing the roster is, no matter how dynamic the run game is, no matter how amazing AJ or Devontae, it would be incredibly easy to stop every single game. Not just for a half, not just for a quarter, not just for a season. It would be consistent. It would be consistent. And it's so funny you bring up Kellen Moore and what Kellen Moore likes to do with his quarterbacks and intermediate throws. Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback that Kellen Moore won a Super Bowl with. What did Dak Prescott do? Yeah, not this. And the intermediate throws. Jalen Hurts was ranked 6th in intermediate passing under Kellen Moore. I don't know, man. That seems pretty good to me. Had a 108.9 passer rating in intermediate throws. For context, Baker Mayfield was 103.2. Patrick Mahomes was 101.0. I'm just saying. Jalen Hurts was 108.9. Justin Herbert was 107.4. Matthew Stafford in intermediate throws last year, 90.3. I mean, Matthew Stafford in intermediate throws last year, okay, had a 57% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jalen Hurts was 65.3% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Who was better at the intermediate throw? You tell me. In 2022, with Shane Steichen was the second highest rated passer in intermediate throws and a passer rating of 113.7, second in the NFL. Huh. So when he had 2 great offensive coaches in the NFL with him, he was a great intermediate passer. And then when you had bad coordinators and bad play callers, that's I don't know. I can't make sense of this. It's too confusing. What is it? What does it mean? Players and teams are better when they have better coaching. When they have worse coaching, their play suffers. What does it mean? What does it mean? I can't make sense of it. I mean, the Eagles' job is always going to be tough and brutal. First off, McDaniel couldn't even handle the pressure in Miami. The dude was struggling, and of course you now have the opportunity to be the coach of Justin Herbert and the Chargers with Harbaugh. It's an amazing opportunity. Also living in Southern California. Especially the way how Mike McDaniel lives his life. He can choose living in Philadelphia or Southern California. Yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer. Have you seen how the guy walks and talks and dresses and looks and carries himself? Yeah, he's not built for Philadelphia. Let's just say that. And you get to build something there. And the pressure. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I'm so pro-Philadelphia. I'm taking that California job. I'm taking that California job. I don't care who the quarterback is. I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Are you kidding me? I want that SoCal lifestyle. I want that money. Heck yeah, that's that. Brian Daboll, it also makes sense. One, he wants the Buffalo Bills. And if not, you're talking about Cam Newton or Cam Ward, with Tennessee. Again, non-existent pressure. Non-existent pressure. And from a coaching perspective, you get to mold and build a brand new quarterback from scratch. And if it doesn't work, You get to say, he's not good enough, we're going to get a new one. Whereas with the Philadelphia Eagles, you don't have that, so we can keep trying to paint that those other decisions are somehow big indictments on the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's just not the reality. It's a really, really, really hard job and stressful and intense, and it's either you win and you're a hero, and if you lose, you got problem. Like you got to answer. You got to answer. But the way we constantly want to keep twisting things, it's just so obvious. I mean, it really is. It's just, how did I know what Nick was going to say before he even said it? How did I know it? How did I know it? Because it's a literal definition of a broken record. It's the literal definition of a broken record. We talk about the importance of coaching and how important it is and how it takes a couple years for that coaching to be great with the quarterback. And Jalen and this Eagles offense has had new coach after new coach after new coach. And yet every single year they found themselves in the playoffs, competitive top team, Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl winner. Have the Baltimore Ravens done that with apparently a significantly better quarterback? No. Have the Buffalo Bills done that with a significantly better quarterback? No. Joe Burrow and the Bengals? No. We'll find out about Matthew Stafford and the Rams. We'll find out this weekend. We'll see. But so far, no. The 49ers, no. Pick the teams that have the full playbook. And then again, if you want to say, well, the Eagles have a better roster. That's not fair. Lamar Jackson hasn't had those benefits, and Josh Allen hasn't had those benefits. Well, then I'll say, why do you want to talk about that now? When I talk about Josh Allen's roster or Lamar Jackson's row, you tell me that I'm making excuses. You went on, everyone yelled at me and saying that I made excuses for Josh Allen, but now you want to talk about team. I can't keep up. When we're allowed to talk about team, when we're allowed to talk about coaching, when we're allowed to talk about the individual player performance, I can't keep up. Which is it? I mean, again, which is it? I'm so confused. I don't get it. How can Matthew Stafford not win a single playoff game in over a decade with the Detroit Lions and then immediately win a Super Bowl with Sean McVay and the Rams, but then we don't want to talk about coaching and roster? I don't get it. How can Nick Wright go on and say that the Buffalo Bills have everything they need to win a Super Bowl, that the Baltimore Ravens have everything they need to win a Super Bowl, but then they don't? But then Jalen Hurts does, and then you want to say he's limited. How do we make sense of that? How do we make sense of those logical inconsistencies? How do we make sense of the fact that we, as in Nick, says Baker Mayfield is going to the Super Bowl this year, but then literally fails to even make the playoffs? Well, some of his receivers got injured. Well, the coaching changed. Are we going in circles right now? What's happening here? What's happening? H, help me out here. Help me out here without a dynamic run game. The Los Angeles Rams look to run first. They have the most successful run game in the NFL. What? He's got Puka Nacua and Devontae and Sean McVay. Wait, what? Who's a better coach, Kevin Patullo or Sean McVay? You tell me. You tell me. Who put on an offensive coaching masterclass? Kyle Shanahan or Kevin Patullo? It's just so hard to keep up with. The enemy is going to be huge for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, but then having Kevin Patullo doesn't hurt the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, so Patrick Mahomes in this weird situation actually now benefits from having a B enemy, even though we want to downplay Andy Reid's impact and downplay the impact of other coaches for other quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Lamar, etc., but then somehow bringing in a coach for the Chiefs somehow improves their ability to be a great team. But then the coordinating, I can't make sense of it, man. It's just too confusing. Too confusing. It's like I'm trying to eat soup with a fork. I'm trying to eat ice cream with a knife. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Do I put barbecue sauce on my ice cream cone? How does this work? What are the rules right now? What are the rules right now? 'Cause I'm confused. I don't get it. I don't know. It's weird, right? Weird. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles? Is the Eagles OC a bad job? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun and please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next.